Hey guys, what we're going to do today, um, I'm going to build a banquet with seating. Um, what we wanted to do, some people call them a kitchen nook, I guess. What we've got is like an eat-in kitchen, a small dining area off of our kitchen. And we've got a full table there and 6 full chairs and a hutch, and we got to talking about it, and we thought, if we put in a corner unit, we could get rid of the hutch, put some storage underneath the bench seating, and then get a different table and put in there and put 4 chairs. So we still have plenty of room for 8 people. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to build 2 banquet seats. One of them's 6 foot long, and one of them's 4 foot long. They're basically 17 and a half, 17 3/4 inch deep. So what I'm doing now, I'm cutting all the 2x4s for the frame, and we'll do this kind of in sections. But what I thought I would do is explain what you need. If you're going to do a 6-footer and a 4-footer, I ended up cutting 4 boards for the long one and 4 boards for the short one, 72 inches and 48 inches. And then for our support or our frame, I ended up cutting 9 3/4, 4 of those, and 14 and a half, 4 of those. So what I'm going to do is I cut my last 14 and a half here in a second, and then I'll clean up my mess. I'll get the boards, I'll put them all on this table. I'm going to pre-drill them so I don't split any lumber, and I'll show you how we're going to build the frame. Once we get the frame built, we'll set it in place. We'll screw it directly to the studs in the wall, and then we'll put our outside box on. And our outside box is going to be number 1 3/4 inch plywood, and the hinges for the top going up and down will be a piano hinge, and we'll finish the thing and paint it a bright white. But we should be able to have a lot of storage in there, and I'm kind of excited about building the thing. So at this point we'll cut, and I'll come back to where I'm putting it together. Okay, so we're back. What we've done, we've kind of laid our boards out here, and as we talked about earlier, we're building 2 boxes is what we're really building. This is the 48 inch box. So in order to make the full unit, we're doing a 6-foot and a 4-foot. So here what I've got is 2 48 inch boards, and on the ends I've got 2 14 and a half inch boards. And what I did with them, I went ahead and pre-drilled them. As you can see, I pre-drilled them, but I also, when I did it, let me get my bit out here, I drilled them with a 7/64 inch drill bit through, and then I came back and I used a bigger drill bit, a 5/16, so that I can countersink the screws. Because I don't know if how much woodworking you've done, but if you take this screw and you try to drill it all the way through there to where it's flush, what ends up happening is you end up splitting the wood. So instead of splitting this wood, we countersink them, just drilled it down maybe 1/8 of an inch. And now what we're going to do, we're going to put this box together. So I'm going to line them up here. And fortunately, like I said, I have a nice flat table. And I've got a couple of clamps. And, you know, you can, if you got wood clamps, it's great. If you don't, that's okay too, but just kind of makes life a little bit easier if you do. I get these lined up exactly where I want them. Nice and flush. And put a good squeeze on it. And we'll do the same thing on the other end. The other thing too, make sure if you're going to build a box, you put your end pieces inside, not on the outside. Because I have done it in the past where I've just wasn't paying attention. And I took and put my end boards here. And I end up with a wide one at one end and a short one at the other. It has happened. And then ended up having to take it all apart again. So for what we're doing here, we're making sure that they're both on the inside, and we're making sure that they're both level, flat, square. And then I'm putting a wood clamp on it. I don't know how many times I've not done that and ended up with something that wasn't square. And I'll take another board, something like that. Just make sure that I'm flush up and down. Sometimes these 2x4s will have a little bit of a twist to them. Check it one more time. That bad boy is perfect. So then, now that we've got it in place, we've got it clamped, I'm going to go ahead and put screws in. Show you here in a second about that countersinking. It's really not all that hard to do. You're building a box. But the most important thing is to make sure your box is perfectly square, because this is a foundation for your cabinet. And if you are off here, you're going to be off all the way through. Put one more screw in, I'll undo it and show you, then we'll cut. Okay, I've got my screws in each corner. And I've got my first base built. I'm going to do another one of these just like this one, and then when we're done, we'll come in and we'll put those together and put the other one on top. So we'll take a break here and I'll come back to you after we get the next one built. Okay, so we're back. What we're doing is I'm trying to attach the legs to the box. So what I did was I went ahead and I took these 9 3/4 inch and drilled them at an angle, and then I took the little bit bigger bit and countersunk them just like we did on the base so that we can put these in. Now I've got a small wood clamp here and we're going to see if that helps us hold it a little bit, but I'm going to go ahead and get one in here. Okay, so you want to check for plumb. That one's still nice and straight. So what we're going to do is, I'm sure you don't want to sit here and watch me do all of them, but I'm going to take and do the same thing on all 4 corners, and then we'll take the other box and lay it right on top and screw it the same way. So we'll come back to you guys in a few minutes after we get the rest of the legs on here and show you how to put the top of the box together. Okay, so what we did, we went ahead and screwed the bottom piece together, this piece together, and now to finish up, as you can see, the box is still, I have the bottom frame and the top frame of the legs, and now I'm just going to screw these together and we've got our completed box. So very carefully line up each corner, and I've already pre-drilled all of these holes in our support board on each side all the way around. So I'm going to go ahead and start with this front corner. I'll get it in, and then I think for today we're gonna probably call it a day. As soon as I get these sides in, I'll do the outside first, then I'll come back and do the insides. Kind of get them pre-started here a little bit. And then I'm going to have to pull this corner just a little touch. Get it started, make sure it's nice and smooth yet. Countersink that screw. And we're good to go. So we'll come back on the next video and show you how to put together the larger box, and then we'll get them in place. We'll cut the lumber that goes on them for the tops. It's going to be a few days, probably 2-3 day project, but we'll come back step by step and video it for you. So we'll catch up with you a little bit tomorrow. Have a good afternoon.